What's good, people? Tell me that y'all can hear me. Holla if you hear me. If you hear me, holla at me.
Woo! Look at
We can hear your pieces.
That was the lamest holla I've ever heard. So
Holla if
dry.
you hear me.
If you hear me, let me. If you hear me, if you hear me.
We can hear your pieces.
Listen, they louder than
Yeah.
me.
We got a new member in the right corner up here. Look at that picture.
Listen. Listen.
Mabel?
We don't know.
Mabel.
We don't know
Mabel.
her. Listen, that's First Lady.
Oh. Why me and Mouth 20? What up, though? You see what we doing over here?
Mabel?
Got twinning on.
Let's go. We here.
because they both got
You
on
know what I'm saying?
hoodies.
Great mind think alike. Yeah, baby. It's hot as hell. We gotta be wearing some hoodies.
Listen.
Don't start. Don't start, sir. This is a serious episode. This is a serious episode. Don't stop.
Oh, man, it's hot as hell.
Listen.
I got my Wonder Twin back. I was activated.
Now you activated? You see? Listen.
You ready?
Yeah, he ready.
You ready now, Pablo? Because your Wonder Twin is back.
Pablo's about to say something about you matching your background.
That's all I'm saying. Okay.
I can match my background. He was quiet for a couple of weeks. Don't worry, I'll put him back in the corner. Marasaka. I will put him back in the
Y'all
corner.
starting already. Y'all is starting already. Well, listen. Before they get too deep into the bashing, I want to welcome y'all to another episode of the Fat Girl Chronicles, where we get all up in your business and discuss the topics that matter to us most each and every Tuesday, which we lovingly call Fat Tuesday, right here on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and our website, leorochelle.com. You will find us there live. All you got to do is go to the Fat Girl Chronicles page, and you will see us there. And we are live. Listen, so we everywhere. We is everywhere. We want to say what's up to all of our people over there on Instagram. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for joining us. We got Miss Doris in the comments over here. Hey, Miss Doris. Hey, Auntie Michelle.
Hey, Mama Doris. What's up, Michelle?
So, I'm your girl, Leo Rochelle. Right here next to me, we got none other than The Mouth, a.k.a. Pop in this thing.
Yeah, what's up?
And then right next to him, we got none other than Miss Ayla, Coach Coco.
Pew, 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 pew.
Oh, no.
And we got right here none other than Mr. Pablo, CEO of Sarkarigan. Shout out to Sarkarigans for allowing us to stream this on their platform over there as well.
Hey, everybody.
Pablo,
AKA Mr. Them Sugar.
AKA
Down Sugar.
AKA
Down Sugar.
AKAs. And then in the middle, we got Miss Anisha. Girl, I was about to call you Miss Amisha, and I don't even know why, but I know somebody named Amisha. That's why I had to pause before I said your name. I'm like, that's not it. And I'm looking at your name. I'm looking at your name.
Look, I was gonna say, who was that? Well, welcome her to the.
Listen, you missed how my day went. So excuse me for the brain farts, okay? Excuse me for the brain farts and the pauses that may take place on this evening, okay?
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. No worries. Hey, y'all.
Praise them in advance.
Well, hey,
praise them in advance.
It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Hey, sugars, y'all all right?
Listen,
I'm wonderful. How you doing, love?
I am good. I am good. Good. Can't be nothing else but good. I woke up this morning. That's all that matters.
Praise the Lord.
That's all that matters.
Praise the Lord.
And the
And
rest is null and void.
down there at the far corner of the world, we got none other than Haitian boy Moses up in this thing with us tonight. What's good, Moses?
How y'all doing?
How y'all doing? Why you say that like?
Today, guess what? I'm gonna be AKA Drake Killer. You know what I mean?
Wow.
They're not like us.
Because you dark skinned.
Oh, Moses, why
They
you
not
like
us.
like that? Moses, what's wrong?
I'm gonna
What
be the Drake Killer.
happened?
I'm going after all these
today?
light skinned people that's coming at my neck today. So, you know,
Did you say the light skinned people?
Yeah, the light skinned
Wow.
Wow.
the Drakes.
That's
You know what I
crazy.
mean? Because they not like us.
Oh, okay.
That's
Okay.
wow, boy.
Wow, he said the light skinned people.
Hey, Miss Monica.
You know, them how, you know.
Let's stop all this dark skin, light skin hate.
Ayla, get your mans. Ayla, get your mans.
We have the same complexion. I'm lighter than him.
I know. Get your mans. He over there feeling that, but I don't know what's going on.
Damn.
Yeah.
I ain't saying nothing.
When somebody else is in the fight, he laughing.
Y'all like
he gotta get in the fight.
We live.
Yeah.
I was letting y'all have y'all moments so we can get to the thing. We can get to the other thing.
When Ayla in the fight, he laughing. When Ayla get to watch the fight, he don't want to laugh no more. That's crazy.
Making sure y'all was good. Okay.
I mean, because you got thirsty.
Gotta turn that light on.
Listen, I just making sure. So we gonna go ahead and get into this thing. Y'all know how we do. It is the month of May, and it is Mental Health Awareness Month. It is Mental Health Awareness Month, okay? And our topic for this month is grief. We talking grief all month long, and I know that might be a lot for some of y'all, but the way we talking about grief, we are unveiling grief and shedding light on its links to mental well-being. Because a lot of us don't understand grief. We don't know what it looks like. We don't know what it feels like. Some of us don't even know what we're dealing with is actually grief. We're not sad. We're not tired. We're not depressed. We're grieving. And a lot of us have yet to be able to tap into that and fully understand what that is. And the reason being is because a lot of us, what is you humming?
I was giving you like a little background music, like.
I was about to say, I was giving background
grief, you know.
I'm like, is you okay? Background music. I'm over here like, is he okay?
It was actually sounding good too. You should have continued going. It was actually
going
nice.
Wait, because I didn't know what was going on.
Like it was going with the flow. Like
we was a little hyped, so I was trying to bring it back down to the grief part. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm with
keep
you.
it going.
I'm with you. I didn't listen. My brain was like,
right, it just threw her off. Like, wait.
He was like, I know I'm hearing something.
Listen, and I also thought
she was trying to figure out what I was saying because she about to do like this, twin.
But nobody
else moved. Like, she thought she was tripping.
Right.
I thought my mic was muted. I'm like, so am I just talking and y'all can't hear me, or what's going on?
We heard you.
So, okay, y'all. Sorry, my brain was like, I don't understand what's happening. But y'all know, a lot of us don't really know. A lot of us don't really know what grief is and all that kind of stuff. So we're gonna tap in tonight. So for all of y'all, do y'all know what grief is?
Yes.
Are you singing Lift Every Voice and Sing?
Yeah.
Hold on.
I was humming Boys to Men.
I was like, it was either End of the Road or it was Lift Every Voice and Sing. These are two songs. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yo, y'all killing me right now.
My ADHD just kicked in.
He got he had the mood going, and Like, oh,
Hey, listen, I just
Yeah.
didn't understand what was happening. My brain was saying that my mic was muted, and I'm like, maybe they can't
we
hear me
ain't got
talking.
no sound effects and then in the background, so we got to do it ourselves. We'll do it ourselves. Type.
Yeah, we got to get one of those percolators or what's some things called?
percolator.
She
What?
Get the thing where you just press the button
You mean a sound
and it
machine?
makes the noises. What is that thing called?
A percolator.
What's it called?
A percolator.
It started with a P.
Have mercy.
We ain't making coffee.
No, the thing, the things that you press the button and it
It's
just
a sound machine.
a prolator. What's it called?
Sound machine. It don't even start with a
Somebody
P.
mute Ayla, please. Somebody mute Ayla,
A
please.
sound machine. It's okay, baby. It's okay. So
It's about to be.
we are, like I said, we are discussing grief. And we're trying to help everybody to figure out what grief is, what it looks like, and some of the different dynamics of grief. So,
Deep
for those
sorrow.
of you who don't know what grief is all of these things. Grief is tough. Grief is not always manageable. Grief is a part of who you are. Grief is lonely. Grief is undefining. Grief is changeable. It is strengthening. Grief is opening a box of chocolates and remembering them. Grief is sharing with the world the person you've lost. Grief is not always manageable, and that's okay. Grief is living your life to the fullest. Grief is catching you out when you least expect it. Grief is all of these things. Okay? Grief is all of these things. And then even more. Grief is all of these and then more on top of that. So,
I don't get the chocolate one.
you don't get what they mean by that?
Yeah, I don't understand that one.
So, like, grief was that person's favorite thing.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm there now. I'm with you.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm caramel
It's
now.
literally,
Okay, right here, no more.
it's literally remembering those things about people at the most random times is really what it's saying.
Gotcha. Okay.
You could really be
My
just
grief was
enjoying.
nothing like no chocolate.
Nope.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
confused for a second, but I get you now.
Like,
Yeah.
if you just you get
I like them chocolate
chocolate,
boxes. I
you know
don't know.
this
I
person,
was happy when I get one.
and you know this person loved turtles, and all of a sudden you like, damn, it's a random memory from
yeah.
a time or something like that.
Or like you watch like a TV show together,
Like a TV show, yeah.
and then you just
Yeah.
it comes on.
Yep, absolutely, all of those things. And a lot of times, grief shows up in places that you're not expecting it to. It could be a brand new place, a brand new experience, brand new memory, and then grief will show up there too. Simply because there may be some things that you didn't get to do with certain people at certain times in your life. And in those new places and in those new spaces, you remember that I wish I could have had this person here. I wish this person would have been, able to experience this with me and those kind of things. So, but over the next couple of weeks, we will just be diving into what grief is. Okay? We'll be diving into what grief is, what it looks like, the comparison between grief and depression, and also helping people to understand the similarities between grief and depression as well. The types of grief and all that kind of stuff. But then next week, we will be talking about grieving, I believe, let me double check my brain, grieving your former self. Then we will be talking about grieving friendships and past relationships. And then our final will be grieving the loss of a loved one. So we got a lot. It's going to be hard. It's going to be a little rough.
Dies?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Because you talking about them leaving, but I'm not okay.
But there's also ways that we talk about that as far as we'll talk about that when we talk about grieving friendships and relationships and things like that.
Gotcha.
So we got a lot to tackle, a lot to talk about, but fear not, we're not going to get too deep. We're going to still try to keep it light, but talk about this because it is an important topic that a lot of us don't recognize. And sometimes people are grieving and we don't even know they're grieving. And we discount a lot of people's grief journey because they just depressed, they just mean, they just angry, they always like that. You know what I'm saying? And so one of the biggest things that I've noticed is that we do discount people's grief a lot, a whole lot. So we're gonna tap into that. So what's your
I think a
thoughts?
lot of people. I think a lot of people discount grief just based on the. I don't want to say ignorance, but just on the lack of knowledge, of understanding what it is, and the generational gap too. Just like we were speaking last week, and Papa was like, his man was like, "Oh, he just having a bad day." He not. Sometimes people just don't recognize what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In
And then
those
also
moments,
some people handle grief differently. So
yeah.
they don't know how to empathize when somebody's having a different type of form of not empathy of grief than you
Yeah.
are having or somebody else is having. They don't know how to recognize it.
And some people show grief differently as well. So like
Yeah.
somebody could be laughing all day long because they're not trying to think about what's going on inside their head right now.
Yeah.
It's just sometimes you just don't really understand stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Just like a few minutes ago when she said percolating, we don't understand that.
So both of y'all at the same time. So both of y'all
absolutely did not understand that.
Now y'all not gonna keep talking about her and this percolated. She was trying to get a point across. She was called. Now don't keep doing her like that.
Okay. I have a little slow moment. I'm tired. I'm still dealing with grief myself, and I decided to unwind and color. So I wasn't really paying attention. But y'all, both of y'all.
That's a good way.
That's interesting.
Pencils or crayons?
Yo, you
got color pencils or crayons?
Color pencils.
There you go.
Okay, yeah. All right.
That's where to go.
Okay.
That's where to go. Oh my
God. That's a teaching moment.
That is a teaching moment because look, I tell a lot of people that to help with grief, but this is something that I do anyway. I'm big on journaling. I am very big on journaling. Started on writing the second series of journaling to release them. It's I think it's a therapeutic thing to get it down, to write it out, to get it off of you, because it's a lot of conversation, and I guess it started with my little brother. Last week, it's been 30 years, so I had to get it out another way. And like life been lifing, to watch my mother get older and not to do that with him. It's like I gotta write the stuff down, and you know how you want to have a conversation with somebody because now you can't have a conversation. So it's been better for me to get it on a piece of paper and write it down to get it out, because I gotta find some type of way to get it off. If I don't get it off, I was at a point where I was holding it and it was turning out to be not good. And
do you read it after you write it?
Was talking about, do I read it?
Yeah, after you write it.
Mm-hmm. It takes me a little while sometimes to go.
I'm about to say, it take a minute to
it take a minute. Once I put it down, I won't read it right away. It takes me a minute to go back and read it. I write it and just put it away, and then I'll go back. It'll take me a while to go back and read it, but it's not something that I read right away. But I kind of stop myself sometimes to go do it, because it actually helps me to get through, because I found myself shutting myself out from the rest of the world because I was holding it all in me. So I was angry at the rest of the world, and I was bleeding out on other people. I was bleeding out bad on other people because I was mad. And it wasn't that I was mad at them per se. And I can honestly say I was mad at God. I was mad at God. I was mad at God, and I had to find a way to get out. Yeah.
But you know, listening to what you're saying, I'm sitting here thinking like a lot of people, and I guess in my age range now, because a lot of people are dealing with their parents now.
Yeah.
But that may be a good form of therapy, especially dealing with dementia and things of that nature, because you can't have that conversation with your parent because they're going through these phases and you don't understand these phases, and being able to jot them down and kind of remembering these things, that might be a good form of handling grief in that moment, because you're grieving, you're grieving while they're still living, because you're not understanding the process of the dementia or what they're going through.
And
That's dope.
because we think that our
One
parents,
thing, unless it's people like me, like
go ahead.
if I write something down and I come back to it, I probably ain't gonna understand it because my handwriting horrible and I can't spell.
Yeah.
Now, Mal, stop.
I be reading back on my stuff. I be like, what the hell was I trying to say?
Right, and it do. It's sometimes you go back. I do go back and learn. Now, wait a minute. Now, was you being retarded at the present moment when you wrote that? Because that just don't even make sense.
But sometimes when you just in the
you just write
whatever you
write,
out, you're just writing.
And sometimes you just writing, and then sometimes I got to go back and piece some stuff and like, oh, okay, this go with this and this go with this, because you just trying to get it out. And something then I have to say, wait, slow down, because I don't think what you writing making sense, because up here is going so fast, but right down here you're not writing as fast as what's going on up here. And slow down. You got to
thinking faster than you writing.
Right, you thinking your brain going faster than what your hand going. So slow down. Let's slow down. Go a little bit slower than what you're doing. So I have to. Sometimes you do have to piece it together to figure it out, but it's still that I got it off because I don't want to walk around with this, and it gets heavy. It get heavy. Like people don't understand. Like it get heavy, and I think the grief thing, that the worst part for me is when you tell somebody when to stop grieving. Who said it got a time?
Yeah, ain't no time limit.
Stop telling people you ain't over your mama yet. What? How dare you tell somebody that?
Yeah, that's what Sheree just said.
How dare you tell somebody
I was just reading.
What?
I was just reading that comment from Doris, and I hate to admit it, I was that person until I went through it. You know, I used to be on Facebook and somebody be like, happy heavenly birthday to my mother, 10 years, blah, blah, blah. I'd be like, damn, she been gone 10 years. What the hell? Like, and then when it happened to me, I fucking understand it now. You know what I'm saying? So I hate to admit it, I was that person. Like, why the fuck you still grieving? Like, God damn.
A lot of people are that way, though.
Because they haven't experienced it, like you said.
Yeah. And when you don't experience, you really don't know. And that's why I was saying, like, the ignorance of it or the not knowing, it can really show it. I really, once I went through it myself, I really felt ignorant for the way I thought in the past. Because here I was yesterday, my mother's birthday, and I was the same fucking way. I'm in the fucking house crying.
Mom, well, happy birthday, Mom. We get it. I get it. I get it. Like I told y'all, it was 30 years for my little brother. 30 years. And I'm like,
until you experience it, you really don't understand it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the thing is like I've experienced, I haven't had a lot of passings in my life, but some of the ones that really hit were ones that is like the ones that are unexpected. Those are the ones, and you would think that those would be the ones that bother you the most because it's like it was unexpected. But in all honesty, like my grandma just passed a few months back, and my dad had been 3 years yesterday of him passing. And watching my grandmother go through that process, I was grieving her while she was still alive. And that was a different form of grief that I've never experienced before. And with my dad, it doesn't get better. It gets better, but it's not how I think people think it's going to be. Like it's not an out of sight, out of mind. After you've experienced years in love with somebody for so long, you can't tell me I done spent 30, 40 years with somebody pretty much my whole life. And then I have to be over it in 2 years. That doesn't work.
There was a girl that I talked to, and she was saying that she didn't like when people put the happy heavenly birthday up. because you should be over it. You know what I'm saying? And I looked at her like, it's been this year, it'll be 9 years for my mom, and I'm not over it. I'm
Yeah.
not over it because that was my mama. My mama was the person that I church gossiped with. My mama was my everything. And like my mama was also the person that I bumped heads with the most because we were so much alike. But a lot of times people don't realize the moments that you think about or the moments that come to mind that you think like, damn, I would have wanted to experience this with my mother. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, I started writing a book some years ago and I haven't finished writing the book because the character in the book was got engaged and was getting ready to get married, and I realized that I would never experience that. Oh, the character in the book, she's getting ready to get married and she called her mom to tell her mom she was getting engaged. And I realized that'll never be something that I'll get to do. That'll never be something I get to experience. I'll never get to call my mom and tell her that I'm pregnant. I'll never, you know what I'm saying? Like all those kind of things. I'll never get to experience those things. And so I even posted like not even a couple weeks ago, like a week or so ago, that I was having a moment because it happened randomly at work.
Yep.
I was at work.
You be minding your business.
Minding your business. I was at work. I
Mm-hmm.
was at work and they had me in the baby room. I was in the baby room. I got to feed the little babies, and they some little chunky babies we got at work. So I'm in there like, oh my God, I'm happy, at bliss. And then next thing I know, I was in there like getting ready to cry, and I'm like, what is happening?
Mhm.
And then I realized that I will never be able to have those moments. I'll never be able to think about calling my mama and getting ready to drop these babies off to her. And
Yeah.
I was like, Lord, why you do this now? I'm at work. I can't walk out. I can't leave because I'm giving somebody else a break. And I'm sitting there with the Buckeyes because I'm trying not to cry. I'm trying to keep my energy intact so the babies can go to sleep. Because babies feel everything. The
How about
minute
that?
you
Because they
feel
feel
stressed, they
energy.
feel stressed. And I'm like, oh, Lord. But when we talk about grief, a lot of times people don't even understand the different dynamics and different layers that it comes with and how that grief took place.
Mhm.
Because, like Ayla said, her grandma was sick, and so she had a little time to grieve. My mother was suddenly got sick. And then like she was in the hospital, and so it was a bunch of ups and downs when she was in the hospital. Then she passed, and so it was a lot of unresolved questions and a lot of things that I felt like it was too early, it was too soon, I didn't get enough time, I wanted more time. And so that's one of the reasons why I tell people all the time, like, be intentional about your people. Because if I didn't learn nothing about my mother's passing, shit, tomorrow ain't promised. And I knew this because I lost my father when I was 13. I lost my dad when I was 13, and I lost my mom when I was 30. So, and even the way that your brain changes or the thoughts that you have when certain dynamics of who you are or who you were change as well when you're dealing with grief. So the first thing, or one of the first things that my sister, we had a conversation. It's funny now, but it wasn't funny then because the first thing that she thought about was, I'm a fucking orphan now. Like, it's funny to us now because we grown as hell talking about we orphans. And when you think about orphans, you automatically think about kids. And so it's funny to us now. But at the time, it was like, no, bitch, for real. Like, we fucking orphans. And so we can laugh about it now. But then it was like, bitch, you right.
Yeah.
I do got a video, though, that goes with some of them intrusive thoughts that be hitting you because of grief. And it's kind of funny, but it's not funny, if you get what I'm saying. Like, it's funny, but it's not funny. Here we go.
Hey, remember that time your brother died? That is wild that he happened. Why he died like that? He wasn't even doing nothing. And he died? That is so crazy. Oh, don't go to sleep. I'll remind you in your dreams. Been about 18 months since your brother died, ain't it? Dang, time flies when your brother died. It's about to be 2 years. Remember your birthday coming up, and he can't wish it to you. Oh, my God. Wait. You used to be in elevators with your brother, but then he died. So you can't ride one with him no more. I used to be going from floor to floor to floor to floor. Yeah, let me get chicken minis and an orange juice. Your brother loved chicken minis. Remember y'all used to get him? He'd be like, you want a chicken mini, man? And then he died. One time your brother died. Remember that? Come on, 2 times. Well, he didn't die 2 times, but come on, don't give up. He'll be proud of you. You should send that video to your brother. He would like it. What? Oh, my bad. Dang, you can't send him that video. Why you can't send him that video? Because he died. He would have thought it was funny. You know, your brother taught you how to shave, remember? And you was a man. He was with the grain, take your time. But he can't teach you nothing else because he died. That is wow. What a good brother he had. Oh, my bad. It's okay, man. Finish up.
That sounds
and
like.
I think it's his voice that I wanted to chuckle a couple times, but it was also like, bruh, what? Like, bruh, what?
It's a real thing.
That's been my last year. Like, my cousin passed last year. And yeah, me and him, that's my movie buddy. We used to we was in the bathtub together. That's how cousins we was. Like, like
that's real cousins.
That's real, right? You know what I mean? Yeah. We started businesses at the same time. And he was like, "Yo, I'm doing this, I'm doing that." I'm like, "I'm over here doing this." He's like, "I'm proud of you." This, that, and the third. And then suddenly he was gone. And like I was sitting here one time, I listened to a Jay-Z song, and literally Jay-Z said, you don't hear the beeping of your phone no more from that person. I bust out crying just listening to that part, thinking about him. So yeah, I totally understand that video 110%.
And I love how he made it, because like you said, it is his voice. His voice makes it lighthearted. Because
you almost want to chuckle, but then you want to chuckle,
but you like, damn, that's for real.
It ain't funny.
It ain't funny for real, but it is. And then especially since he publicly lost his brother, so it's not one of those things where it's like he's making fun of anybody particular. Like this, he actually is experiencing this,
right?
And he's trying to make light out of it, because I think sometimes we take stuff too I ain't gonna say too seriously, but I've known people that at the point of, okay, this person passed away, now they so angry they just want to fight everybody. Everything is triggering. Everything is like whatever. It's just like it's like it's not like you're celebrating their life. You're just angry because they're not here. So everybody can get it. I wish a motherfucker would say something like that type of energy.
And some people don't even realize that's like their grief.
Yeah.
Like some people are
he's
stuck
a comedian.
in the anger part.
Right. So he's a comedian and a public figure. He does a lot of videos. So that's it. I guess that's his way of kind of getting it out of how he's been feeling.
Yep. Absolutely.
Which I think is a dope platform to be able to do that. Everybody don't have that platform to grieve or find that closure. Like Mama Doris said, sometimes people need closure when something extreme happens immediately.
Yeah,
that you're not expecting. Yeah.
I wanted to touch on something that you said, because this doesn't even really have anything to do with grief per se in a way, but I guess in a way it does. Because you mentioned, Leo, you mentioned about being around the babies and stuff like that. So for me, it's really hard for me to get pregnant, right? So this is the conciseness of the doctors. Like I got to go through all of this shit just to do it. So at one point I had to grieve the fact that I may not ever be a mother, right? And that that was a lot of pain. That it still hurts, but it's something I had to grieve, I had to understand, and I had to be okay with it. I have my nieces and my nephews and things like that, and then I have my godchildren, and the person that I'm dating has kids, so I'm just like, okay, those will be my babies, and I'm okay with that. But the pain of the fact of having to just like really accept the fact that this may not be for me, or it may not ever happen for me, that was a hard pill to swallow. So like we were saying, as far as like going into the different transitions of grief, that's another form of grief, is just accepting certain things in your life that you may not ever be able to do or experience or whatever. That's just like somebody losing their legs and now they can't walk no more. You got to grieve them legs. Oh, God damn it.
But that's but see how you
until just now.
But you see how your world has evolved around still being around a bunch of kids. That may be your walk. It's to spread love to all these other little youths that's not getting it, and those that are around you. So you got so you won't be tired, bogged down. He wants you to go out and touch different kids. And that's what you're doing.
I'm not gonna lie. I had to grieve with that for a minute. I mean, I tried to, but that was a period of time for me because me and my ex-wife,
you couldn't have kids.
Yeah, we couldn't have kids. Like she couldn't have kids. Wow. It was like I had to come to the point of like saying that, all right, I may never be a father. So it's something that you really that's a tunnel that you really do have to go down, accept, deal with, and then also be strong enough for her.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you try to be strong for her, but at the same time, you have to deal with it too, because you're like, damn.
And that's a different perspective, because a lot of times we don't ever think about that from the man's point of view. Like we never really think about the man who has to go through that process of maybe the person that he's with can't have children. And maybe that was something that he saw for his life or saw for himself. And he's like, well, this is the person that I'm with and the person that I love. So that may not ever be possible. And so we don't ever get that side of it. So thank you for sharing that, Moses, because a lot of times we just hear about the woman's process or how women may not be able to have babies.
Be honest, it's like when you go through something like that, it's very selfish. Very. Like when you really sit down as a man, you sit in a room, and you have to because you go to all these doctor's appointments. Together we lost 3 because we did IVF.
Wow.
So
that's
I had to grieve that.
I lost.
Yeah, so I lost 3. So I had to grieve that silently and be strong for her. And in her head, and not even her head, what she physically said was, "I lost." It wasn't us.
It was never. It was never a we. Not. It should have never. It was. But and I get what you're saying. It was never. And here is where my heart goes out to you.
Yeah, that's me too.
Because it was never said to you, Moses, and my heart goes out to you because it was never said to you, we lost. And in that, you also lost. Because sometimes as women, and I'm gonna take it for the team. It's a I. And we never take a minute to say we. And in that, it was never taken into consideration for her to come to say to you, how are you?
Man,
how are you?
That was going to be my question, brother. I was going to ask you.
Feeling?
Yeah.
Can I be real with you?
How are you? And that's why I'm asking you, how are you?
I'll be real with you. You are probably the 4th person that's ever asked me, how am I doing about that?
How are you?
Yeah, that's deep,
with that,
man.
yeah.
You taking on all that, but nobody ever said to you,
nobody has ever asked, and I'm asking genuinely.
Because I was in that space.
How are
I lost the kid.
How are you?
Just maintaining. Right now I have to say, I am in a limbo. I'm happy and I'm sad. I have my moments. And for some odd reason, I hate Leo because for some odd reason, she just knows. She'll give me a call. She'll be like, "What you doing?"
It's the discernment in some of us that we don't even have to talk to you,
but you can feel the energy.
Like,
it's
she
the
just
discernment.
and the funny thing about it, like
me
me and her, we could go days without talking.
Yeah, that's fine.
We'll go days without talking to me. We have gone days without talking, and then she'll hit you with the "What you doing?"
Yeah, what you doing? You all right?
I'll be like, "Where you came from?"
Right.
And then I'll throw the topic. Like I'm real good with the deflection. Nah, she real good with the
Listen,
she'll bring it right back. What you doing?
King of deflection. What I tell you, I don't know what it is about the men in my life, but when I ask y'all, what you doing?
Yeah.
How you doing?
Right. And they want to change the subject. And that
I'm not gonna hold you. I think that's what breaks me a little bit because I don't like
when I send the eyes or when I say, "Hey boo, just checking in on you."
Mm-hmm. I think that's what breaks me a little bit because she don't have to do it.
No,
she does.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's why, like for real, I respect her to the illest. Like, for real, like she doesn't have to do it. And the simple fact that she comes out of nowhere, I think that's what made me and my mother got closer too, because she was the one that was like, "Yo." For the first time ever, my mother called me. She was like, "You okay?" I was like, "Yeah, Mom, cool." She was like, "No, are you okay?"
Mm-mm.
Like she was like, to be honest, she was like the second person that did that for me. Like
she needed to. She needed to check on. She needed to check on her child because her child had lost his child, and it's different. That hit different. And I can tell you because I watched my parents. At 18, my brother was borrowed 20 days before his 18th birthday. I watched my parents. That hits.
It's a different hit. It's a different hit.
It hits different.
It's something that you just don't. Matter of fact, I don't think I wish that on anybody.
And I've watched I've watched just recently. My best friend, my nephew, went to Tokyo for his birthday, and y'all, he didn't come home.
Whoa, dang!
He didn't come home. He turned 33 over there, and they had to fly him back home in a box. It hits different.
It does hit different.
Definitely different.
It hits different. It hit different.
It is different.
That's different.
Moses, I never knew. I never knew that about you. I never knew that. So thank you for sharing that and being in that vulnerable space and being open enough to share that, but also shedding light on how a lot of times when those kind of situations take place that we discount the man's feelings. And not just the person that you're with. A lot of times it's society discounts your feelings and your thoughts and how you go through that place or how you go through that space of grieving, but also not grieving out loud. Like you weren't given the space to grieve out loud. You weren't given the space to be present for yourself in that moment. Because a lot of times when we grieve, we don't even recognize that we have to still be present for ourselves in order for us to be who we're supposed to be in those moments. Because a lot of times it's like, damn, I don't even know what to do, how to do it, when to do it. And so we be blank a lot of times until we realize, like, no, you still got to get up. Yep. You still got to go to work. You still got to do all the things while being in the midst of grief. And so I definitely want to say thank you for sharing that. Absolutely. Secondly, you always know at any given time when you down, when you feeling something, even if I do randomly just send you a, what you doing? You know, that it's because I swear to you, if I love you, then I'm going to always know when it's something not right. I'm going to always know. Like, I don't know exactly what it is, but I know it's something. And the sooner y'all learn that, the easier for everybody.
No, she definitely hit me with a "you good?" I'm like, girl, no.
I do got a question for y'all though, and this is something that I have to try to unpack in therapy.
Mm-hmm.
So, who better to ask than you guys? How do you grieve
Leave it right
somebody?
there, Leo. Sorry.
How do you? It's all right. How do you grieve somebody that you just hate?
Oh,
That's something that you have to work on from within. You
yep.
know, and
How?
it's hard. You know, it depends on what your beliefs is, what you believe in, what's your
I believe.
beliefs.
I mean, the beliefs is. I believe there's a God. I believe there's a
But,
higher power, but the hate is real.
yeah, but to release yourself, you have to forgive that person
Mm-hmm.
because that's gonna weigh
That's
down. That's just
Oh,
weighing
hell
down
you.
on you.
that's
That's
a
gonna weigh
lot.
down on you and weigh down on you, and
That's a lot.
and it
That's a
may
lot.
weigh.
That's a
But let me
lot.
tell you,
And it'll
I'm gonna tell you
manifest
what
in
to,
other
I'm gonna tell you
ways.
what to do. And my
Yep.
grandmother told me, a lady told her to do this. Say, I forgive this person, but you say it every day. And like my grandmama said, shit, I ain't gonna mean that shit. But the more you say it, the more you say it, the more you'll start believing, and the more it'll start releasing from you. Yeah, you
Um,
got it. You got to let that go because that shit is gonna be heavy on you. And I want to tell
and
you, I don't know, but me being on this show for so long, this show is like therapy. You're gonna get a lot of therapy on this show. You're gonna get a lot of it's just us talking about topics that you're gonna get a lot of shit out that you probably ain't got out on the couch yet. And
yeah,
it's gonna be
but that's why I said
revealing.
I'd rather just throw it
Yeah,
out there because I couldn't
yeah.
unpack this too well in my therapy session, and I'm gonna put
You
it out
learn a
there.
lot about yourself just by
I have a whole
listening.
lot of hate. I don't like. I hate my sperm donor,
Mm-hmm.
and it's kind of weird because
And that's
the man passed away.
yeah,
We only had 3 conversations throughout my whole entire life. He called me for my
right.
16th, my 18th, and 2 weeks before my wedding. He passed
Yeah,
away,
you mentioned that last
and I
week.
think I got pissed off because I felt some type of way.
I remember you saying that last
Mm-hmm.
week.
Yeah,
I would definitely say, um, first of all, give yourself some grace.
definitely.
Because it's not gonna go away. It's not gonna be one of those things where you're like, oh, I'm over it. I forgive them. It's not.
Mm-hmm.
Give
Mm-hmm.
yourself grace to know that you're gonna feel those feelings, and then you might feel those feelings for a while because it's still fresh. But also give yourself be kind and gentle to yourself because this was the person who helped to make you, but you also feel anger because they were never the person that you thought or expected them to be, or you felt like you that they should have been. But also let go of the expectation. Once you let that go, and that takes time as well, but you have to let go of the expectation of who you expected them to be for you. Because sometimes it takes, like, you got to dig through the layers first. Like, there was an
Mm-hmm.
expectation, and the expectation was this person was your father, sperm donor, but you expected these things to take place from this person. They didn't. And so then you expected disappointment all the time. Like, you either expected not to hear from this person, the disappointment if you did, or all of these other things that may have come with that. But then on top of that, there's the anger. But
Yeah,
then on top of that, there's the grief. Like, you have all of
Yep.
these layers that you got to work backwards. And so
And
the
I think
biggest thing I would say is be kind to yourself, be gentle with yourself,
definitely.
because it is definitely going to take some time. That's not something that you're going to be able to unpack overnight. That's not something that you're going to be able to be like, all right, I'm good, I'm cool. That shit's nothing. No, it's something. It's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot of work.
And
It's
it
going
is.
to take a lot of work.
And let me say
I want to tell
this to you. Give, and I know this is gonna be a hard pill to swallow about what I'm about to say. Give him some grace.
For what?
Because you don't, let me tell you why. You don't know, parenting don't come with a handbook.
They don't.
Yep.
You don't know what his mindset was about being a parent or how the situation, how the parenting came about, or what he was told when it came to you. So give him some grace because you don't know. He may have felt that he was a disappointment to you, so he never showed up because he didn't know how to be a parent because he was never parented.
Parented, yeah.
So give him some grace as well because you don't
and
know.
that's kind of that's
You
kind of
don't
what I wanted
know.
to say is that
You don't know. You got to give him some grace too because you don't know because it does. I can't tell you that he was right because he may have not known how to be a father to you because he was never fathered. And if you don't know, you can't do. So allow yourself to go through each one of these stages. And when we say give yourself some grace, and that's why I said it's going to be a tough pill for you to swallow when I say this to you. Give him some grace as well.
Yep.
Because you don't know.
I mean,
You don't know.
And I want to say this to you, Moses. When you pray, thank your Father for teaching you how not to be.
Exactly.
For teaching you how to be the man that you became by showing you how not to be.
That part.
Thank him for that.
That part.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Makes sense.
Don't dwell on what he didn't do.
Right.
Dwell on what he did do.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it
He
made you a better
taught
man.
you. So when you become a father, how never to mistreat and how never to treat your children the way he treated you.
How never to be absent.
How never to be
Let me tell you,
absent.
that was one of the things that happened to me. When my son, when I got my girl pregnant in college, I quit school and got a job because I didn't have the support. And I always said in my mind, I would never be a father like my father. I would always be there for my kids. Because I always believed once I had a child, my life wasn't my life anymore. My life was my child's life, and I had to make sure I was there for that human being I created.
Absolutely.
So even though me and my father are working on a better relationship, I thank him for giving me that feeling in me. You know what I'm saying? For not wanting to be a bad parent. You know what I'm saying? So thank him for the shit he did to make you be who you are.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because he's here's the thing. The absent part in him created the greater part in you.
Mm-hmm.
That created the greater part in you.
Yeah, man.
And we're gonna talk about
don't be mad. Don't be
too.
mad. Don't be mad about it. That created
We're
the
gonna
best
talk
part
about
of you.
the feelings, Will, because that although you say hate, like Michelle said, that hate is the dominant feeling that it's showing, but the underlying feeling may be disappointment. There's a feelings wheel that I think I brought up last week, but the feelings wheel, it helps you to tap into exactly what it is you're feeling because you might say hate, but that might not really be what it is. You may really just be fucking disappointed. You may really be angry. You know what I'm saying? So there are a lot of different ways to describe what it is that you really may be feeling, but hate is the way that you think that these feelings.
That's what you're associating with.
That's the way you associate those feelings with is hate. And you might not actually hate the man. You might really just be like, I'm really disappointed that you wasn't in my life.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to tell you how to feel. I'm just saying, like, you know,
it's a possibility. And the other factor is that might be a form of
description.
Grief. Right.
Yeah.
That's what it is. That the description is
There's some things to look at.
Yeah.
And it may be that it may be that another form of grief and that you just, can I be honest? Your feelings hurt.
That's what it is.
He hurt your feelings.
I mean, for the most part, I got that part. I do know.
He hurt your feelings, and it's not. And the word
the reason
he has hurt your feelings like deep.
No, because the reason I came to this conclusion is because I say this. Like you just said something about like he probably didn't know about how to be a parent.
Mm-hmm.
That's not true. Because I have conversations with my grandparents. I've had conversations with my siblings.
Oh, so you have
Bro,
other
you were
siblings.
just you were just an asshole. So when I say hate, no, I mean it's hate. It's hatred. But the point is the fact that he passed away and I felt some type of way and I had to grieve that, it bothered me.
Because you didn't get any closure. I didn't get to recognize.
You're a man.
And the funny thing about it, I don't feel like I'm ever gonna get closure.
But you a man and you supposed to. You didn't get no closure, and at the end of the day, you still were hurt. And you had so you have siblings that he was present with.
Yes.
Okay, so let me ask the question. What is the age difference between you and them?
Sweetheart, I have a brother that's 6 months older than me. And I have a sister that's 2 years younger than me.
Okay, so the brother older than you saw him?
Yes. Like he was in and out, but he saw him more
again. Okay. Yeah. And the sister,
and then the sister they live together all the time.
And again, that's why it leads back to he didn't know how to be a parent with you and that older brother. He knew how to be a parent by the time that sister came. He knew he said, now I got two boys out here that I had already exactly. I got two boys out here I already fucked up. I can't mess her up.
No, you mean mess them up?
I already messed them. I got two boys up. I didn't already messed up with them. I can't mess up with these down here. Again, that's why I'm saying the grace, because he was in and out 6 months before you. He was in and out and wasn't there with you at all. He didn't know. But when the rest came, he had to figure it out. Because at this point, he like, I done already messed up. So already now.
I can't sometimes it can be more or less don't have nothing to do with you at all. Look at
right, and it didn't have nothing to do with you. Trust me, Moses. It had nothing to do with you, baby.
No, like I said, like to the point of, like I said, I went to therapy to unpack it because, like I said, I started off therapy to save my marriage originally. That didn't work out, but like I said, it unfolds to other stuff. The grief process, then it just landed on other things. And so, like I said, that's why I don't, me personally, that's why I'll be like, I go to therapy and after that I have to stop. Because like I said, that feeling thing, it's just too many feelings that hit you at too much, too fast, too quick. And sometimes it just gives you too much questions and you don't have the answers to.
And so, and I'm gonna be honest,
and that's valid, and that's really valid.
It's real valid. It pisses you off because you don't have the answers to it, and then nobody else could help you get the answers. And then, like for example, I had to take the time out to, and like investigate. Like I personally went in to investigate this man. So I was like, all right, cool. I got an older brother. Okay. And then I started talking to my sisters. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Then, I started talking to my aunts, like everybody on that side. I investigated and I did the time. I'm like, so, and it was, and for like, I canceled out everything. So it wasn't like my mother was keeping me away from him. He always knew where I was at. So this was a choice. All right, bro. So now, but what was the point of you always calling me? You was already out. You could have stayed out, but you dived in. Like, what was the point of that? So, like I said, that's why I said, like me, I go to therapy. Yeah, like I'll go to therapy. Like I'm going to therapy now. I give it like probably 2 or 3 weeks. I'm gonna stop.
No, you're not gonna stop this time.
No.
You're not gonna stop.
No, and let me say this. I can understand why. Because therapy makes you face some shit that you sometimes not ready to face.
Yeah.
And so then when you in the midst of it, he not saying he gonna quit therapy altogether, but he gonna have to take a break.
He's gonna take.
He gonna have to take a break because sometimes therapy will have you in your feelings. It will have you angry. It'll have you mad. It'll have you feeling shit. Like he said, it'll have you feeling shit that you're not prepared to feel at that moment in that time. You do have to take those moments to back away from it, to be like, hold on, I need a couple of weeks to process this, because if I come back next week, you're going to keep wanting to talk about this, and I don't want to talk about this because my feelings I'm feeling all the feelings. And so he probably, he's saying. But one thing I also know is that he not going to quit, but he going to need that break. Gina said, you have to recognize the source or reason for the hate. Also understand that he may not have been able to show up because he may not have had the proper example to follow. Then she also said, but please know that your feelings are valid and you have the right to feel this way, but take your time to navigate this space and do not rush the process. Absolutely.
Yep.
Great comment.
Michelle said,
words right.
Yep.
And Michelle said, it can really be challenging to forgive or give someone grace who hurt you so deeply. Moses' feelings are valid and he has to work through that before forgiveness can happen. Absolutely, because a lot of times we be trying to tell people to forgive somebody for something. Like, we not kids no more. Back in the day, you could tell a kid, now say you sorry, and then sorry, and next thing you know, 10 minutes later, them kids over there in the corner playing. We not that no more. And some of the things that have hurt us deeply and hurt us in a different way because we are older. And so now we have to process things a little differently because a lot of us are fucking jaded. Like a motherfucker. So we gotta process those things.
Some of the process that you go through now, it affects what you do now. Like, I had to just recently notice that my past is starting to catch up to me with the way it affects me now with current relationships and dealing with people. And like I said, I had to unpack the father thing because it started tapping on the window of the way I'm dealing with the person I'm talking to. Like if the person gets too close, you gotta find a way to just
sabotage it.
Sabotage it and break it off.
Sabotage, Buki.
So remember when we talked about last week when we said you bleeding out on other people. That's what that is. When you bleeding out on other people.
I don't feel like bringing nobody else into my garbage.
Right. Exactly. I get it.
And that's part of the reason why there's so many failed relationships, because people are jumping into things and not clearing up the shit before.
Yep.
You haven't forgiven that person. You still hate that person for whatever reason, whatever y'all went through, and that whatever that breakup or situation was. And now you're trying to start anew with somebody else. Yeah, because it feels good and it feels fresh and blah, 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 blah. But then over time, what's going to happen is all of that stuff that you were like bottled up and not really dealing with. Now that shit coming out. I got
another theory though.
Huh?
I said I got another theory though.
Give it to me.
Because sometimes the people that are placed in our lives are placed there to help us grow so that we aren't continuing down that same path. Like Moses just said, like he's recognizing that this is what's going on and he don't want to like bleed on nobody, but also that person may be there for that reason, not necessarily for you to bleed on them, but for you to face the shit that you need to go through or deal with, but also deal with it in the space of being in relation with someone. Because sometimes we are supposed to be in relation with people as we are healing. Not a single fucking soul I know on this earth has gone through healing by themselves in any shape, form, or fashion, whether you are in a relationship with somebody, whether you are dealing with it in regards to family, friends, or whoever or however. The fact that you are going through this space, it is forcing you and pushing you to be your greatest self, but it is also making you to understand how to grieve or how to process those things and feelings and emotions while being in relationship with somebody.
Right. That's if you're doing it. If you're doing it. Because you got the ones that don't.
Yeah, so it could be either or both. It could be both. It could be that this person is teaching you how to be in relation and going through your healing, but it also could make you recognize like, oh, I got some more work to do. And it could also be forcing you to communicate shit that is uncomfortable. Like you said, you might not want to bleed on this motherfucking person, but you might be like, you know what? Now I got to tell this person that I see where I'm fucked up at and I don't want to bleed on you. So now it's probably forcing you to communicate that as well.
Yeah.
A lot of different ways.
That's a lot of different ways.
But
it comes from like if you're actively if you're actively paying attention to that part, because there's still that whole avoidance thing that becomes the whole situation of you recognizing, okay, I'm trying to heal and I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to let go of this stuff, but these people that I'm surrounded around, right, whether it's in a relationship or it's family or whatever, they're continuously holding me to a person that I once was and I'm no longer trying to be. Or they're continually keeping me trapped into this space and I'm trying to grow and I want them to grow with me, but they're not trying to.
They won't let you percolate.
They won't let you. You know what? You just gonna keep going back to that.
I was just putting in the conversation.
He's bringing it back. That's podcasting 101 right there.
I said they won't let you percolate. You just gonna keep going back to it.
Great. Him and Pablo ain't said nothing yet.
I was trying to Pablo was over there being real quiet. He ain't said a word. He wasn't saying nothing.
Because Pablo is.
I was just showing you how you can take a mistake and put it in the conversation.
That's all.
I appreciate that. I like the full
Pablo is avoidant. That's why Pablo not saying nothing.
What's that?
Pablo is avoidant. You are avoidant.
Definitely.
Yeah, he don't.
Yeah. So.
Pablo does
he don't really want to talk about it.
Hey, look, I've been looking at him the whole time over there sitting back. I was like,
he ain't said a word. He got real quiet.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you one thing. That I have noticed about Pablo.
Right.
When it comes to conversations where it is necessary for feelings to be felt or anything personal to be discussed, Pablo be like,
interesting.
La, 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 la.
Yeah, right.
La 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 la.
But nah,
absolutely, Moses. Be humming and singing shit. Never like.
Hey, let me say this.
I got a story.
Brother
Moses, up there like somebody asked you this over there, like.
Go ahead, Mal. No, sorry. Go ahead.
I'm about to have an honest moment. Like before I left the show and Moses first came on, you were very quiet, kind of stand backish. But I appreciate you for being open, brother. I really do.
Absolutely.
And allowing these moments to happen. Because what I've learned is that sometimes you never know where those moments are going to come from. And I've learned by doing the show that, like I said, a lot of moments I have come from this show. Like I be sitting back listening and I'll be like, yo, shit, that's me. Yo, what the fuck? I'm fucked up. I told Leo many times, I'll be like, I'm fucked up, Leo. I'm out here in these streets fucked up.
The one thing that I used to love is like after the show. So y'all know how after the show we sit back here and we talk sometimes, do our little debriefing after the show or whatever. And I remember one time, this was when Trosh used to be on the show. It was me, Trosh, and the Mouth. And Mouth, all three of us was sitting back here like, God damn, dog. And then Mouth was like, nigga, I'm fucked up. I done did some fucked up shit. And it was just like all the revelations was coming out, and he was just like, I did not know I was this fucked up. And then even on one of the shows, we was talking about relationships or something. We was talking about toxic. I think it was talking about toxicity. And Mouth was like, man. I think I'm toxic.
We sure did. He was
like, I think I'm toxic. It was the revelation like, nah, bro, I think that's me.
Yeah.
And
when it went off like
it be so many aha moments, and the Mouth really just be like,
nah, for real though. It really do.
You really can see a lot of stuff. Like if you really pay attention and allow yourself like you are now to be vulnerable and open, you really can learn a lot about yourself and actually redirect yourself and learn, you know what I'm saying, and just do shit differently. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
we
man.
appreciate you. That's growth
Yeah,
right
for
there.
sure.
So that means that your therapy sessions are working, sir.
They working.
They working.
They working.
Working. We proud of you. I mean, because now
we
would you have done it? Would you have done that? Like, I'm proud.
We
are proud of you.
Proud of
you.
Where your tambourine at, Leo? Pull that tambourine out, girl.
Hold on, I got the whistle.
Oh, not the whistle. Oh, whistle.
Hold on.
That's a whip.
Hold on, I gotta get.
That day sound like a whistle. That sound like a whip.
I wasn't blowing it all the way.
I'm gonna say because that ain't a real.
Use your throat. Use your throat.
No.
Blow that whistle.
No,
there it is. Blow it all the way like that.
You ain't blow it right, girl. You gotta
blow it.
Put your mouth.
That's what he said.
No, did it. No, did it.
But no, for real though.
Not the no diddy.
We appreciate
that. No diddy.
Right, because that takes a hell of a man to sit here and share that out loud like that.
Absolutely.
It take a hell of a man to do that.
And to be honest with you.
And to be honest with you and tell us the truth. And here's the thing, you asked us a question.
Yeah.
You asked us. You asked us the question because you wanted to know. You genuinely want to know because there's something inside of you that wants to get rid of that. You don't want to keep walking around with that. You don't want to keep walking around with that.
It's been an uphill battle.
It's going to be.
It's going to be an uphill battle.
It's like, well, you know how you say life keeps on lifing, so it's like it's an uphill battle because, like I said,
it's going to be an uphill battle.
It's like different stages. Like that, I've been trying to deal with for a minute, and then now I have to deal with, like I said, my losses. Then now I'm dealing with a divorce. Then I'm dealing with meeting somebody new.
Okay.
Liking somebody new, and like you have all that dumb shit in the background, all that noise. Well, I call it noise now. It's all that noise, and then you're meeting somebody new, and you know, you're like, wow, this is different. And you know, the like, so like the noise is overshadowing everything else.
The noise started to get a little loud, and you
louder,
like, wait, this noise like, wait. So this a little loud back here. Hold on.
Let me tell you,
this
on
loud.
The other side, when that noise quiet down,
I'm trying to tell you, I'm a living witness. When that noise quiet down, you're gonna be like, oh, okay then.
So I'm gonna tell you
something. What you gotta say, Pablo?
When I tell you, it's not. When I tell you, it's not something that's going. The healing part is a journey. Like I told y'all, it's all the time. It's all the time. But when you get in it and you doing it's gonna hit different. When the noise start to get it start to fade away, you like, oh, okay. Okay, and it's gonna be a couple of things that may trigger you, but then you're gonna know how to handle it. And you're gonna be like, oh, okay, then.
Triggered at least twice a day.
And when the trigger comes, you're gonna be like, nah, that ain't what we doing. And you're gonna know how to handle yourself and keep moving. But when the noise start to quiet down, it's gonna be so much. And people are you're gonna notice how people are gonna say to you, you different. What's going on with you? It's something different about you. And that's when you're gonna be like, oh yeah, I did some real work. Oh yeah. And then you're gonna notice that the people that can accept the new, I call it the new, that's gonna the people that's gonna always bring up, remember when? And you're gonna be like, what? Why we keep talking about remember when? Remember when? No, let's talk about right now. Them gonna be the people that's gonna be like, they're not gonna come around quite often because your light gonna.
And that's okay because you don't need them.
You don't need them anyway because then your light gonna be too bright and they're gonna be like, oh, I can't go.
I mean, for the most part, like me and Leo had this conversation. I lost a lot of friends for the past couple of months. And the funny thing about it is like it didn't bother me either. That's when I knew something was up. Like people were just dropping off. Like if I hear from you, I hear from you. If I don't, I don't.
Because you moving in a different space.
So it's like I said, it's, like I was focused on certain. Like I said, it's like my inner peak. Like it's so funny because me and Leo got closer. I met Leo through a third party. I don't even understand. The introductions to me and Leo is so third party. We was not. I should not like. We just started clicking. First thing we make fun of this. We joke about it almost every time we talk. I was like, "How your boo doing?" She'd be like, "What boo?"
And then I know exactly who you're talking about, and then I'll be like, "Boy, fuck you," because that nigga ain't my boo.
Because me and her got closer. Leo met my ex-wife. Leo drove to Baltimore to do a photo shoot with me, not even knowing me. So it's like the way our friendship became. It's so weird that she knows when I go through my little. I'll get a text or an eyeball. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with this? Like
but it's the same with Pablo. It's the same with Pablo.
She definitely did.
I met Pablo through a third party. I met Pablo through Gary, from the C Plan Do show, and we did a show together, and then we ended up like talking about doing some podding together and doing stuff together, and then it turned into a whole thing. And the same thing with you. I met you through a third party, and yeah, and then I came to Baltimore, did the shoot, and the rest is history. But that's generally how I end up meeting people that I do some of my best work with. It's because I meet people through other people, and then they be like, "Oh, I really fuck with you." And the other thing is too, I think people don't really believe that I'm the type of person that I really am. Like I get that a lot of times. Like, oh, I didn't know you was like this for real. I don't fake this. Like this hard to fake.
No, she her for real.
It'd be exhausting.
It's hard to fake, nigga. Okay. Exhausted in a motherfucker. Like, how you got time to fake
kidnapped in Baltimore? She almost got kidnapped in Baltimore and everything.
I know.
In Jamaica, right?
And Jamaica, yeah.
Jamaica definitely.
Jamaica, they was really coming after her. It was really
Jamaica, definitely.
Jamaica, they was really gonna take her. And I don't think we could have done anything. My man said, "Fluff it." I said, "Oh shit."
Not so much Baltimore, but definitely motherfucking Jamaica.
Yeah. Jamaica, it was like, yo, you're so fluffy. I was like,
but yeah.
All right, Pablo.
Let me express my feelings.
Come on, Pablo.
Come on.
Hi, my name's Pablo. 4
years ago. It's not a 12-step program.
Hi, Pablo.
4 years ago. 4 years ago, my father passed away. You know,
right.
And I had the same feelings Moses had. Like the exact same feelings. Wow. I didn't see my father a lot. You know, he was out in the world. You know, he grew up in the crack era, so the drugs took care of him. So when I saw him, it was like 2 seconds, and he going off on another mission. Me and him never got close. I have little memories of him when I was small, but that's just about it. My younger brothers have all the memories of him, so I understand exactly what you're talking about. My younger brother, my cousins have all the memories of him. Like I can sit down with my cousins; they can tell me a whole bunch of stories that they did with my dad. I have none of that. So when he passed, again, I thought wasn't gonna feel anything. Went to the funeral home. I saw my name because me and him had the same exact name. Saw my name on the wall. I was like, okay, a little weird, cool. Walk in there, same face. He's just older. You know what I'm saying? Emotions just started flooding. Didn't know where they came from. Didn't know what was going on in my life. Hugged my mama. Mom was like, "You okay?" I'm like, "Nah, I don't know what's wrong with me." The grief was coming, like, and it was because he was in a hospice before he passed. I got a month with him, and we literally sat down. We literally walked it through. Like, I felt this way. He felt that way. He felt I should have approached him. I felt he should have approached me. Yeah, we had that whole conversation. My youngest brother, who's not from my mom, from another woman, he flew in from upstate New York. He stayed with me, and he's like, "Y'all need to take care of each other." You know what I'm saying? Like, he was doing the whole father thing. He even knew him. So I get it, Moses. I had the hate there, but after that time, and it's year 4 now, I'm still confused on some of the things that I feel about my father. You know, because I can still, like, my cousin still write, you know, happy birthday to him on Facebook and all that, just that and the third. I ain't gonna say it gets better. I will say that you will come to terms with it. The pain and the anger is going to change into something else. You just have to wait on it, because the time will change it. Like, I promise you, it's been days where me and my dad wouldn't put hands on each other, like hands on each other, just from word of mouth from other people, because we didn't talk to each other. So I totally get it. It will ease. That's the word I want to use. It's going to ease. It's not going to get better or worse. It'll just ease, and it's going to be your day-to-day life, and you're going to be fine. Pray to who you pray to. Just understand that apology that you will not get. You have to understand that's never coming. You know what I'm saying? And you have to accept that apology that you're never going to get. That's the one thing I learned in therapy. She said, accept the apology you will never get.
That'd be hard too.
Don't it though?
I'm not gonna hold you. That is the hard
because
part.
I'll be ready to bust heads.
Yeah, like I think I feel like I need, like, I'm not gonna hold you. Like you just said that, and that just that's a trick.
I saw your face. I saw your face.
That just triggered. Like, like I gotta what? I gotta wait. No.
Yeah.
I don't think that, and I think that's why I don't feel like I could accept that, because
that's your pride.
My thing is, like,
you
was already out. You was out. You was cool.
Yeah.
You was out. You didn't have to come in.
And my father did the same thing. My father came to me a week before my graduation of high school. He left 2 days before my graduation.
God damn.
Right. Like, why did you come in the first place? You see what I'm saying?
I don't understand.
I get
why
that.
Come and then disappear and then come back?
Yeah.
Disappear.
He came back.
Yeah. I never understood that. Like, what was your point? What were you trying to achieve by doing that? So,
but you also, like we talked about last week, the age that my father was when all those things was happening is similar to the age that I am now.
Let me ask y'all this. When you look in the mirror, do you see your father when you look in the mirror?
I sure do.
Don't you hate that shit? That is the hardest. That is one of the hardest feelings in the world. That somebody that you have these feelings for, you look like that motherfucker so much alike. That's me. Me and my father look just a fucking alike.
Bruh.
They'll be like, you look just like your dad. I'll be like, shut the fuck up.
It's so funny. The first time I met my siblings, we didn't say nothing to each other. We just kind of looked at each other. We knew who we were to each other, because we had features. Like, it was like, whoa. And that was something.
Damn.
Every
fucking day. Every fucking day I look in the mirror.
Oh, goddamn. Goddamn.
Wow. Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Well.
That is
Leo. When you say you got their face, I understand what you're talking about, Leo.
Sir, have y'all seen my parents?
Yeah.
Like,
hell? Like,
what y'all was doing?
Right.
What y'all was doing?
I'm a blend.
Y'all was mixing that up real good.
But I look more like my mom than I do. I got my dad's features, but I look more like my mom. But the simple fact that, even though with that, like, when I met my siblings, it was like, oh, I knew who they were without even talking to them.
Yep.
and it was just weird. Like the connection, like it's like you was on some real X-Men shit. Like we was having conversations with our head, like
Yeah, it be that way.
Nigga, is you the nigga?
Yeah, is you that nigga?
Like,
I met my youngest brother when my father was sick.
When was he with your mom? Like, when was he with your? Matter of fact, your mom. Like, it was like it was so weird. It was like we was having.
When I met my youngest brother. Yes, sir.
Goddamn.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
When I met my youngest brother, my dad was in the hospital.
I'm sorry, I had a
bonfire. Literally his whole life was my life. Like he's a creator. He paints. He does things with his hands. Like all that. His entire life was identical, and he's an Aquarius like me. Like, bruh, I can't call it.
Wow.
So my father's picture, I had a bonfire and I burnt it. So
yeah,
that was the day I was feeling kind
of. And my middle name is his first name.
God damn.
Yep.
Leo, why your face like that?
Yeah.
Because I wasn't expecting that. I'm like, wait, what?
My middle name.
Shout out to my brother Victor out there in Schenectady. What up, though?
Miss Brown, yeah, my dad does have
Victor?
siblings.
Yeah, that'd be me.
Victor.
Victor.
Oh yeah, I got an old nigga name. I'm an old nigga up.
And do.
I mean, listen, I told you have the same name as my daddy. I didn't tell you that initially. I told you your name is tattooed on me.
Mm-hmm.
And then you figured out that it was my daddy's name. I was like, hey, your name is tattooed on me. And he was like, what? And I was like, it's my dad's name. You got the same name as my daddy. I mean, like my daddy, my granddaddy, and then on my mama's side is my uncle and my cousin's name. Like I got so many Georges in my goddamn family. It is not even funny.
Both of my grandfathers. My dad, I think my stepfather, my step grandfather was named George too. Like Georges that stayed there. So my mom said it could never be another George ever again. So
yeah, y'all gotta let that go.
Literally right
Was
here.
it just me or did everybody hear Leo turn into a little girl?
Yeah,
my
she did.
Daddy and my granddaddy.
All right, now I'm gonna sit back in the corner now. I ain't gonna talk
no more. No, that was good though. That was good.
I needed that.
Yeah.
And that's one of those kind of situations, you know, we're talking about. Absolutely. That's what I was about to say. Like, you know, when people have those conversations and they be like, I don't like when people bring up the same shit that I be going through because they be trying to take the spotlight. No, I love when people do that because it lets me know that the shit that I'm going through ain't like I ain't the only one. I'm not the only one. I'm not out here by myself. And then there's somebody that I can at least tap into and be like, hey, so this kind of how I was feeling about this, then the third, or whatever. And yes, Gina, I did say my daddy. We don't call him my daddy. We called him Diddy. Like Diddy. Like Diddy, no Diddy. Okay?
Yeah,
like, no,
not
that
Diddy. No Diddy. Yeah, Diddy. Yeah.
But we used to say, like, that's what we called him. We didn't say daddy. We said Diddy. Diddy.
But definitely thanks, Pablo. But I'm not gonna hold you. Like I said, there's moments.
Yeah, I still have them.
There's moments.
I still have them. Like then I get upset because I do things that the people who supposedly cared about them don't do. So I'll be at the gravesite. You know what I'm saying? Like I recognize his birthday. You know, and me and him never had that relationship. You see what I'm saying?
I'm not there yet. I'm not there.
You'll get there.
I'm not there. I don't think I ever want to get there. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Indeed, and I was just about to say, even if you don't,
right,
that's okay too.
As long as you get in a better place.
As long as you exactly. Right. And that's what I mean by getting there. Not necessarily to the point where you're going to the graveyard and everything else, but to the point where you can see certain things when it comes to him, and you don't turn up your nose, you don't get upset,
Right.
you don't feel triggered. You'll
Right,
get
it don't trigger you. It doesn't trigger you anymore.
It's gonna take a while, but
my face, boy. My brother used to bring him up. I'd be like,
yeah,
what? Like, what are we talking about?
I went to a family reunion on that side.
Yeah.
I swear to you, my attitude was on like a million. Like I was like this. Everybody that walked up and was like, "Oh, you," they was like, "Oh, you Justin's son." I was like, "What?"
Mm-hmm.
No, my name is Steve. They was like, Nah, you Justin. Call me that man's son one more time. Like you got one more time to call me that man's son.
Yeah. When I go on that side, all I hear is the stories. I keep hearing the stories. Yeah. Like, yo, your dad's this, your dad's dope. I don't remember none of that.
Yeah, I remember
I didn't have that experience.
One of my cousins had to pull me back because I was about to say, nah, he a bit. Man, I was about to go in, like I was, and I had some liquor in me too. I was like,
they have a different experience than you.
Right, that's what I was
gonna say. They got a totally different experience, and it'll be where you get to the point, and you will be able to be around them, and you'll just be able to just respond to it as to, yeah, y'all had that experience, I didn't, or you'll be able to sit and listen, but it won't trigger you to be upset, like angry, where you just gonna like I'm about to knock all of this shit over.
Until somebody kept on coming to me and like, oh, you what you would call it, son? Like, I was cool. You didn't have to, like, it just kept on happening. It seems like they just knew that I was gonna get pissed off, so they kept on doing it. So like everybody was talking about
you put yourself in that space. Yeah, you put yourself in that space because that's his side of the family.
Yeah.
So these people had different experiences. Like you said, you got all the older people that grew up with them that had a different experience with them. So they gonna, that's what they see. You know what I'm saying? They don't, and they probably don't even know that he didn't see you but 3 times. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, but like
because he could have had a whole different conversation with them about you. So when they said to you, "Oh, you're such and such son," it wasn't that they were doing it purposely.
Yeah,
for them, that's just how they correlate you to them.
Yeah.
So you aunt son, you know what I mean?
Cousin Pete.
Cousin Pete. When you go to the hey, cousin Pete. Yeah. So when you went to the barbecue, so that's how they correlated you to being connected to them. So it wasn't like they were doing it on purpose, just to
but like I said, this was all before. This was all before.
Right, you look just like
I didn't know no better.
That's when you get the old auntie that was you look just like your daddy. That's a shame.
I swear to God, you look like that now. I swear to God, you look. Come here, bitch
I didn't want to go.
That's when you want to be like, did you like the potato salad, lady? Go sit down.
It was a free ticket to Atlanta. Why not? I was like, I'm cool. And then I got there and I hated it.
Gina said, as long as your mental state regarding this situation improves is all that matters. No need to go to the cemetery and make visits or posts, as long as you have a sense of peace and calm about it.
Yeah.
And I totally agree. You don't have to be extra. You don't have to be extra. Just know that as you are transitioning and healing and going through that you got people that love you, that's here to listen to you and rock with you through it all. Ramita said,
we got you.
Ramita said, I'm on the other end of this dad spectrum. I loved my daddy. My grief question is, what is a daddy's girl supposed to do without her daddy?
Girl, let me tell you something.
Woo, child. If I could, woo, child, baby.
It's really not a lot. I ain't gonna hold
not a
you.
Lot?
It's not a lot because one of the hardest things for me, like I said, my dad passed 3 years yesterday. So, and he's not my biological father. This is the man that I grew up in the house with. This is the man that taught me how to ride a bike, taught me how to drive, took me to prom. Like, this is who this man was to me. Him and my mama broke up and I lived with him. So, said this is my dad. Now, I have a relationship with my father. I love my father. Like, I love my biological dad. That's my baby. Like, I talk shit about him all day, but this is the man that raised me in a household. And I have nothing. I took clothes and stuff from the house, and I still have those clothes. And every now and again, I smell them and I go through a frenzy because I miss him that much. It's not something that you're going to be able to be like, I can't tell you I don't think anybody can really tell you how to deal with that. because it's just on your time and how you go about dealing with it. For me, one of my favorite, fondest memories of us growing up is he would pick me up from school. We would go to the track. Or even in the summertime, he would take me to diners. That's how I first learned how to use utensils or like cut my food. That's how I first learned about how much I love coffee. And a few other things that I would do to symbolize our relationship and the things that I know that we did. And that helped me. And in that time, I would like talk to him. Even when I went to the cemetery yesterday, I talked to him. I didn't really have a lot to say, but I just sat there and I talked for a minute. I smell him randomly at times. He comes in my dreams and says things to me, and I wake. He literally just did it like a week ago, and I woke up in the middle of my dreams, like I literally yelled at the top of my lungs, like, "What the fuck is going on?" And I know he's probably like, "You need to calm down," but it was just one of those things where I hadn't seen him in a while, and just to see him and see his presence in that moment was a lot for me. I don't think it's ever going to be a space where you're going to be like, you're not going to miss him. It's never going to be a space where you're not going to, like, your heart is not going to burn or hurt. It's never going to be a day where you're going to miss him every day. It's not, this is the person that like this is your first love, basically. You're going to miss him every day, but you just got to find things to bring the memory in a better space where it's making you feel like that his presence is near and around, as opposed to you being sad and upset that he's gone. Because I know my dad and I know how he is, and he'll be like, we not doing all of that. You still got stuff to do. You still got some things that God has for you to do. I don't need you to be sitting around here doing it. That's how my father was. Yeah.
That daddy's girl thing, and I can tell you to my heart, and my mother will tell you, and she tells everybody, I love my mother. Don't get it wrong. I go hard for my mother, but I am a daddy's
baby
girl, and I am now 9 years in, and to be, because I am the oldest, and when it happened, I pretty much, between me and my grandmother, I had to, for me to be the person to sit at the table, to make arrangements for that, was the hardest part of my life. And that, when I've learned to live with it. And I'm not going to tell you that it's an easy thing, but I've just learned to accept it, and I live with it day by day. And there's certain days that I freaking flip out because there's certain days where I want to call because I got questions. Like, hey, Dad, I got a question. Hey, Dad, I got a question. Hey, Dad, I got a question about this. It was, my dad had to have every day. My dad, when they used to print the newspaper, my dad had to have a USA Today. He read that newspaper every single day. Every single day. And the thing with he and I is that I took him to the grocery store. That was our thing. Grocery store, do all his errands. That was our time together. And y'all remember when Brock's Candy was at the grocery store? You got to be old to remember that. The Brock's Candy.
Oh my God! I used to steal some every time I wanted stuff.
Yes. And I kept saying,
listen, the little cherry gum balls. Those are my favorite thing to steal.
How many pieces of that candy you gonna get, Dad? How many pieces you gonna? Don't worry about it. We just gonna get this candy and keep going. So to be, it's the hard. It's a hard pill to swallow. But like you said, you have to find things that remind you of that. And I am a Sanford and Son lover because of my father.
Yep.
I have seen every episode of Sanford and Son and will sit and watch it and laugh
over and over again.
I used to think that my dad was
red. And love was Grady on there.
I love it. Love it.
Hey,
And we'll
look,
watch
I was just
and
looking at it,
over.
sir. I got like a 24/7 channel on my TV.
I'm
I can
trying
look
to
at
tell you.
Sanford and Son whenever I want to.
We'll sit and watch it. We'll sit and watch it like I ain't never watched
Gina,
it
bro,
in
you
my life.
insane.
Never
Yo,
watched. Never watched.
Gina is
That
a
is
full-time
good
thief.
time.
Yep. And
That
and
good
it's
time
just
is market
when you a
all
daddy's
day.
girl, it's different. And I tell everybody
Man.
because that was the first man I fell in love with.
Yep.
The first man. And to this day, I am a beard lover because my dad had a beard. And for 4 years of my life, it was just me and my parents. Before my little brother came, it was just me and my parents. So wherever my dad went, that's where I went. My dad got me dressed. My dad combed my hair, did all of that. And to be that one that had to stand in front of these people to say, this is what you got to do. This is what you got to put on. This is what you got to do. And the day they told me I had to leave that man in that cemetery, I said, well, I don't know what y'all. No, I don't be able to do this part right here. Y'all gonna have to figure something out. Because I don't know what
to
to do.
Jumping over on the thing when they
That's the whole thing. They had to come stand around me like, no, because you, and my mom finally just said, you got to come up out of here. I said, I don't know. Now, mind you, my parents, this is something that I loved about my parents. My parents got divorced when I was 10 years old. But you would never know because my daddy never told nobody. Because my daddy said that my mama was still his wife. You would never know. You would never know. I said, well, what the? I knew, but both sides of the family never knew that my parents were divorced. Never knew. Never knew. So living without your father, it's a hard pill to swallow, but you just got to find a way to navigate yourself through it and bring yourself to just saying, I know you're not here. I'm like you. I have those conversations and I talk out loud. I just talk out loud. Like, I know you hear me talking because I don't got no other way to talk to you. But hey, I got a couple questions. In some type of way, magically, within the next few days, I get some answers. But it's a hard pill, and we just learn to accept. We learn to live with it. It's not really where we have to accept it, but we learn to live with it. It's a part of our life now, and it's our new norm. It's our new norm. But we find things to just keep living with it. Keep going
Well,
with
I
it.
can say I don't have a lot that I could add to that conversation. It's simply because I lost my dad when I was young. I was 13. So the things that I do remember is when all of the stuff when I was very young, when my daddy used to comb my hair, and I had a lot of hair. If y'all ever seen my my pictures when I was young, I had a whole lot of hair. My dad, he never combed my hair, but he definitely put that roller in my bangs to make sure my bangs was curled for kindergarten and stuff like that. But I can honestly say that the older I've gotten, I can't remember a whole lot of additional things. So for those that have had or have been able to have their fathers for a long period of time, like I'm jealous because I didn't get to have my dad for a long period of time. When I finally did start growing up and recognizing like the importance of a father, I didn't have those spaces and I didn't have that opportunity. The one thing that I do remember is that like my dad was sick, and so he was in a hospital, and the one thing we had a conversation about is me getting my woman time. And I was like, I looked at my mama like, why would you even tell him that? Like, that is my daddy. That is my daddy. He do not need to know nothing about nothing. And so, like, that was one of the things that I do remember. Like, I was embarrassed because my daddy knew I had my woman situation going on. And I was like, that's a man. I'm a girl. My daddy don't need to know nothing about that. But My daddy, he used to um y'all remember them track suits, like the black tracksuits with the pink turquoise and purple in the
Mhm.
like the blocks up here in the
Yeah,
Mhm.
top.
yeah, yeah.
We all had those alike. Me, him, and my little sister had those alike. So,
I keep looking like
oh, I be stealing
Jack
grapes
Morrison
too.
now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Over
absolutely.
here
Like
sang by the
we
bell.
used to have
Right.
all of those. We used to have those alike, but yeah, I cannot say that I have a ton of memories, but I do have some memories of
Did you
my
say you were
father.
stealing grapes too?
Yeah,
You
I
sound like
steal
my
grapes
daddy.
all the
See,
time.
that's my daddy. We gotta taste them and see what they taste. What if you
You
don't?
got to.
You get,
Yeah, that was my daddy. But by the time we got to the front
I
of the store,
said,
the
but
whole
right
goddamn
by
bag was
the time we
gone.
get out there, ain't
Listen,
even no grapes in the bag.
Damn grapes in the
Hey,
you
bag.
just
look.
wipe it
Hey,
on your
look.
shirt.
We be.
Right?
Hey, look. We
And
be
it's
in
like
the.
he was like,
We
just
be
wipe
in
it
the
on your
store.
shirt. I'm not eating
You
them.
be in the
No.
store eating grapes and shit, but when you get home, you want to rinse them off and shit. But you don't rinse them off in the store. Shit.
Right.
Nah,
Now you
not
want to
at
get
all.
in the store, you eat them, but then you get to the
Matter of
house, you
fact, I
I'm
got
not
some
eating
grapes in
that.
the
That's
refrigerator.
dirty.
Give me a few little grapes.
Girl, Shaw was like, damn, I ain't got no grapes. I'm gonna go get some.
Nope.
Hey,
Then
I don't know what
he
they
was
put
like,
in
I'm
them
about
grapes
to go
from
get another
Sam's
bag because
Club.
ain't no more in there. You didn't ate the people grapes, and now you gonna go get another bag to pay for them now that we standing in the line.
But them grapes at Sam's Club.
Technically speaking, if you eat it while in the store, it's not considered stealing.
That's what he said. That's what he
That
said.
part.
You didn't steal it
Because you're
because we
still in
ate
the
it because
store.
we was in the
That part.
store. Oh,
If it's still in the store, then it's
on
not.
a slow fall.
You're just
On a
taste
slow
testing.
fall.
It's
On a
just
slow
taste
fall.
testing.
That's wild as hell.
That's a
So,
slow
It's
fall.
just taste testing.
Yeah, my uncles
what I
used to
will
drink the
say,
juice and then they'd give
Yeah,
it
and
the
then
empty
put
bottle.
it right back. Yeah.
No, my uncle give it an empty bottle. Like, go ahead, scan this. I drunk
and
it while I'm in
scan
the
the empty
store.
bottle.
Yeah,
Oh wow, your uncle's nice.
Oh yeah, I do that. I do
that
that.
uncle, that uncle, nice.
If the line long, goddamn.
I know people that
um,
drink it. Now open the refrigerator, drink it, put it back. Like
See, one time I was so hungry, I got there, opened up the bread and opened up my turkey, made a sandwich. Goddamn, by the time I got to the front of the line, I ate a sandwich. Put the mayonnaise on it and shit.
listen. I know people who actually go to the supermarket and act like that's their personal fridge. I'm looking at them like, okay, I'm not going to jail today. I'm gonna be up front.
So one of the things that I do want to tap into before we get up out of here is the different stages of grief. But I also want to say to anybody that is dealing with grief, um, like I told Moses, be kind to yourself, be gentle with yourself, because some forms of grief for some people or situations or things that we may be grieving is new. And so your body, your mind, your spirit, and every part of you is going to react differently to a new form of grieving. Um, so definitely be mindful of that. Be good to yourself, be kind to yourself, and allow other people to be good and kind to you in that space as well. It may feel different, it may feel weird, but you got to be okay with people loving on you to the fullest. Okay. So the forms of grief, we're going to get that real quick. The different types of grief: there's absent grief, anticipatory grief, complicated grief, cumulative grief, delayed grief, disenfranchised grief, normal grief, breakup grief, and traumatic grief. So, for all of y'all that say that, oh, it's only one kind of grief, or you ain't grieving no breakup, there's a such
Oh no,
thing
you
as
can
Different
definitely
breakup.
give a
categories. Yeah,
breakup.
definitely.
There are so many different types of grief. And then I know some people, I know I said that I wanted to tap into the difference between grief and depression, so
It's
I'm going to do that real
disenfranchised.
quick.
Yeah, I want to
Oh,
know.
we're going to talk about that.
Is
Um,
disenfranchised like when Church's Chicken went out of business? Everybody was upset.
nigga,
Or
no.
when you go to Chick-fil-A on a Sunday and
No, I'm not.
they close.
I
I'm not.
freaking hate you right
Nigga,
now, yo.
no. Not at all. That is
No,
ridiculous.
not my chicken.
Disenfranchised,
No.
disenfranchised grief. Um, y'all stupid. Um,
Did not say when
uh,
Church's Chicken shut down. I can't.
That was a disappointing time. It was. Them
No
honey
more
biscuits,
Quincy yeast rolls.
them honey biscuits was everything.
They went out of business.
Not about us. It's a gang of church chicken out
They
here.
got disenfranchised.
Yeah.
It's Savannah too.
It's a bunch of
my
country
Leon
states
is.
I
out
can
there
say
right
we still got them.
But so here's the definition of grief. Grief is an emotional reaction to loss. Most commonly, grief is connected to death and dying, but it also related to any loss that we experience in life, work, money, relationships, play, hobbies, safety, physical capacity, or anything else we can lose. The body and the mind react in a variety of ways to loss, and generally, the more important or significant the loss, the more complications there could be. Um,
So I may have been right. Because let's say somebody is a hobby for them to eat at church's chicken.
Okay.
And then the church
No way.
chicken
I'm not. And I'm not.
I'm not.
he said, so I was kind of right. Mouth, listen, if it's one thing Mouth gonna do, he gonna find a win, okay? That man can be wrong
A
as
win
two
is a
days
win.
The win is the win.
He gonna find a win. He gonna be like
disenfranchised.
1-1.
The
Right.
franchise
Make
went out of business. This
You-
franchise went out of business.
I'm not.
I'm mad. He said this franchise.
Franchise went out of
Franchise went out of business.
When them
finna
franchise
irritate
boys
me.
stopped making
Not
music,
them franchise boys.
I was grieving.
I grieved.
So wait a minute.
Yeah.
You represent
No more of that. You know what I mean?
Oh, Miss Lady, in the comments, please let me have my moment.
No more pool palace when them franchise boys stop making
Oh,
music.
okay, Jesus! Somebody help me.
Listen, I need y'all to stop
She
talking
said,
about.
if you kind of right, you also kind of wrong too. But here, y'all stupid, bruh. The similarities between grief and depression. So they both can create low moods, feeling down or low in spirits, sadness, uncontrollable crying, social withdrawal, problems with sleep, appetite, and energy level, poor memory, somatic symptoms, nausea, headaches, and then reduced interest in life. I did not know that grief and depression can trigger poor memory.
Yeah. Because your brain blacks it out.
I heard that.
Yeah,
Your brain blacks it out.
blocks it out.
But them grief headaches, nigga, that shit make you go blind. You be seeing
Yeah, it
doubles and
It
shit.
does. I used to sleep a lot.
Yeah,
A lot.
yeah. Like when my dad first died, I'm like Moses. I slept a whole lot.
And get sick a lot too, right?
I slept
Yep.
a lot.
Yeah, my stomach was hurting.
A lot. And kept the headache, and I don't never have headaches. I kept the headache and stayed asleep.
So grief is generally irritability, deep sadness, difficulty practicing acceptance, seeing or hearing things related to loss. Depression is guilt unrelated to grief, preoccupation with worthlessness, prolonged difficulties functioning, and then suicidal ideation. And then the similarities is intense malaise, sleeping disruption, loss of appetite, and weight loss. So those are other differences and similarities between grief and depression.
Thank you for saying
So-
ideation, because that I was fucking me up trying to read that word.
I mean,
Appreciate you.
And the sad part about this
You're
shit
welcome.
is so real because
Yeah.
this some of the stuff I just recently went through. And just seeing these words on paper make you flash back a little bit at some of the things that you go through. Like,
Yeah.
it's great.
And it makes you feel less insane. It makes you feel less crazy sometimes when you actually see
Yeah.
that it is
You're
a
like
real
connecting the
thing.
dots.
Right?
You literally connecting the dots of why I was there, what's
Yeah.
going on. Yeah.
Sadness, the separation, the forgetfulness,
Yeah.
the don't want to do nothing.
Yeah, I ain't talked for like 2 years after a breakup. I didn't utter a word out my mouth. Like I didn't talk for so long. My throat muscles did not work. Pause. And when I spoke, it was very soft
No
because
deal.
I didn't use them.
you have to put something like a specter in there, open it up. What's happening?
Mm-hmm. Yep, I had to go to the doctor.
Oh, you have to use one of them things that they do when they give us a pap smear.
Oh my God! Now
Pussy opener.
Oh my God!
Click it. And then they put the little thing down there.
Was
and
it a
then they
female
swab your throat.
doctor?
It had a little twang to it.
Was it a female doctor?
Twang to it. Yeah, it was.
You didn't go to the doctor that did it, did you? Did you go to the doctor that did it?
Right now.
They opened up your mouth and then tickled your tonsils with the thing.
Like,
Did your doctor say
Open
your
mouth
throat or open
open
your
like
throat?
this when they twisted the thing and it opened like this.
Mm-hmm.
oh my
They
god!
do like this.
Don't listen to them, dog. I'm trying to figure out why didn't you talk? Like what? Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we talking about grieving. We're not talking about coochies right now.
We definitely not.
We wasn't talking about.
We're talking about why his throat
We are
muscles
talking about grieving.
wasn't working.
I just stopped
We're
talking.
not talking about coochie pliers. We're not talking about coochie pliers.
He had to open his mouth because they had to get in his throat with it. That's what we talking about. So
Yeah, I just want to know, like,
we ain't even on that.
what made you not talk for 2 years?
I just stopped talking. Like I was in that much of a mode that I didn't want to talk to nobody. I went to work and I just nodded my head. Like,
that could have been an after school.
Yeah, that was a complete shutdown.
Yeah, that was a
Like,
shutdown.
That was a complete shutdown.
All right, so did y'all did she how y'all broke up? Like, did she do something devastating? Like, what?
It was a fight. She put hands on me and everything.
Well, it was from a breakup.
Where's she at?
She is married.
Oh, this was a breakup with a girl.
Yeah.
What the?
Yeah,
Oh shit.
She is married now. She is happy.
He was in
Shut up.
love.
Damn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What's
I
her
got
name?
nothing to do with
Alone.
that.
Grandma bitch is good pussy.
Look, now wait. Look.
What then it is about coochie. Now we back at the coochie part.
Right now, look,
Man, listen. All right, come on.
Some fine coochie boy. I got make you not talk about
Gina, see, Gina said the same. Gina know what I'm talking about.
He was grieving that coochie.
Hey, yeah.
God damn.
Gina stopped talking. I don't believe that.
She had that 34 Patterson coochie.
She did. She stopped.
She stopped talking.
See?
What are
her
ways?
granny and her cousins. It was back to back.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Stop talking.
Common emotional symptoms of grief: sadness brought on by the realization of the magnitude of the loss, depression symptoms, shock, denial, or disbelief, anhedonia.
What's that?
Increased.
What the hell is that?
I'm gonna tell y'all. Give me a second.
Okay.
Increased anxiety symptoms, hopelessness, helplessness, anger, survivor's guilt, and low self-esteem. And some people do not know that survivor's guilt is a real thing.
It is.
I had somebody to ask me because I talked about this on my Facebook page, and somebody messaged me and was like, "Can we also talk about the fact that you wish you were the one that died?"
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That you feel guilty for surviving when this person passed away and things like that. Anhedonia, excuse me, is the lack of pleasure. It is the inability to feel pleasure.
Oh,
okay. Good.
Which is also
Pablo stopped talking.
Which is also a part of clinical depression.
I've been there.
God damn it.
Yep, I checked that box off. Yep, I was there.
And then we got some ways that y'all can start healing too.
Oh yeah, tell us the healing part, girl.
Start healing, because we finna get up out of here. Ways to begin healing from grief: 1, see a therapist.
Yep.
2, attend group therapy.
I don't
3,
like niggas.
practice self-care.
Okay.
4, be patient. Be patient. Number 4 should have been number 1. Number 5, journaling. Number 6, practice a hobby. Number 7, visit with the deceased.
I'm not doing that.
Number 8, be kind to yourself. That's the one. That's another one. Number 9, get fresh air daily. Now, a lot of people might be like, I ain't going outside, but you outside. You going to work, you got to go outside. So that helps. Being in the sun,
that's important.
Good, but you also getting that fresh air is important. Yeah. Going outside is important. All of those things, because a lot of us get trapped in the space of that cycle of not talking to people, not going nowhere, not doing nothing. and that's how depression actually sets in further. So make sure y'all talking to people.
Shout out
I always tell my people.
Mama Doris.
Shout
Yeah.
out to who?
Cry.
Mama Doris.
Cry, Mama Doris. Make sure y'all cry.
Yeah.
It's okay to cry.
That was my
Get
struggle.
that pain out.
That was mine too. Don't worry about it.
Yo, real talk. I started crying. Like I don't know how these people say they can't cry, because sometimes that thing just comes out of you.
Some people can't.
I think what it means
Some
by
people-
can't, because it's a struggle for me. I have mastered suppressing the cry.
I couldn't. There was it was a point like I was sitting in a car and I would fall.
I cry all the time.
I ball.
I got to the point. I don't give people the benefit of the doubt. I ain't getting none of that.
I ain't crying in front of people though, but I would like.
No, I ain't crying, and I'm getting better.
Yeah, cry in front of people.
Damn, I'm a cry in front of people.
Yeah, we know. We know.
I don't give a damn.
I'm gonna cry.
But the one thing I can say is a lot of times is that when I do cry on here, it is unwarranted. Most of the time, it'd be like, God damn it. And then the tears just kind of flow like you did last week when Mouth came back, all that kind of stuff. A lot of times it just happens on the show. But like when I'm like by myself a lot, I do keep myself from crying. Because I feel like I've had to be strong for so long that I don't cry. And
That's
then
that good old behind whooping cry right there.
And then a lot of times I cry in the shower. That's usually my place where I go cry, and I let out my big cries is in the shower sometimes.
When I went to the gym, I used to cry because I used to sweat so much. I'll just cry while I'm sweating.
Okay, now we peeing in the
All right, we gotta go.
Devin said, I'm glad I tuned in because I kept saying I'm not depressed, but emotional grief basically describes what I was going through at the time. Thank y'all because I couldn't really explain it. You're absolutely welcome, sweetie. So make sure you join us the rest of the month of May.
You're welcome,
Yeah, thank you for tuning in. Make sure you join us the rest of the month of May. We will continue to tap into different forms of grief and different ways to heal from grief. So that's what we're tapping into this month. It's going to be a great conversation, especially if you enjoyed this one on today. I want to thank everybody on the panel, all of the co-hosts, for being very vulnerable and opening up. Again, listen, I love Mental Health Awareness Month because that's when we start learning more stuff about each other. That's when everybody opens up. That's when everybody kind of takes their guard down just a little bit to let the world know that they are just as human as everybody else. All right. We love y'all. We thank y'all for tuning in. You absolutely do. You learn all kind of things.
Along with disenfranchised.
And we learned that when you hit a button on a percolator, it makes noise.
Wow.
It do. It goes.
Everybody in the comments, please join us, man. Y'all join us and share your stories.
This Friday on PGC After Dark, we are talking grief, but we are intertwining the journeys. We're talking grief, sexuality, and mental resilience. So just like grief affects your day-to-day life, grief also affects your sex life. It also affects how you feel about yourself sexually and in a lot of different ways. So we tapping in with that. Also through the month of May, we will have some really dope mental health counselors, and we will also have some dope guests on the show to talk about their stories as well. So it's going to be an amazing month with great information, a lot of vulnerability. So make sure you like, share, follow, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Go on over to leorochelle.com. Make sure you join the mailing list so that as shows get ready to come out, we will have our mailing list up and newsletters going out starting in the month of July. And yeah, y'all can be prepared for that. But also follow, like, share, like I said, subscribe to all of the things PGC, PGC Media, and PGC After Dark, because that's where you can find any and everything about us, or check the website, leorochelle.com. Yeah, so this is going to be a great month of great conversations. Make sure you join us. I think that's it. That's all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Again, I'm your host, Leo Rochelle. We got none other. Nope, the email. Y'all, I was finna leave without something. I was about to leave without something.
Let them know.
Sure was.
Leave without something. Hold on. Wait.
Let's go.
I'm appalled.
You ain't Paul, you a nigga who steal.
Wait. I got something for y'all. Hold on, don't go nowhere. I promise. Hold on, don't go nowhere.
Yo, what's up? It's your man, The Mouth, and it's time for your new music moments right here on the Fat Girl Chronicles podcast. That's right, I'm back, baby. And I'm getting started off with a hot new artist by the name of Papa J. And the song is called Hard to Find.
Oh, you look good. Girl, who made you? Glad that I found my way to you. Let's take a walk. Show you what you want. I don't want the gram, put your number in my phone. I know so many guys that come around, say they gon' stick around and let you down. And if you feel like I'ma play a running game, tonight gon' be the night. I'ma change how you think, cause it's you. You say a good man is hard to find, that's not true. Cause there's a good one standing right in front of you. They say a good girl's hard to find, I found you. I found you. Yeah, girl.
Yes, indeed. That was Papa J, and the song is called Hard to Find. Now I'm keeping it moving with Raspy Soul, a brand new artist. And the song is called Easy from the brand new album Constructed. Right here. You heard it first with the Man in the Mouth. New music moments.
Just like breathing, I don't have to think about how to love you, baby. Like all 4 seasons, it's come to me so naturally. The pain in your eyes I saw when we met, I no longer see. I'm not just loving you, I'm loving you the way you wanna be. I'll be on your day and night, beautiful, beyond comparison, always on my mind. There ain't nothing like you, cause you make it easy. You make it one-on-one and don't compare to you.
Yes, indeed. The song is called Easy from the album Constructed, and the artist is called Raspy Soul. Now I'm getting to my single of the week from somebody we all know and love right here on the show, Mr. Kenyon Dixon. He got one for the summer for you, and he simply calls it Still. Right here, your new music moments.
I just end up confused. I love the rhythm we had, but it ain't the blues. Don't time it would get better. Keep a few shorties around and they'll disappear. But this relationship's momentum. Been searching and finally found it. I need you here. You stay on my mind, my girl. You stay on my mind. Even after all this time, girl. You stay on my mind. What is this true love?
Yes, indeed. Brand new from Mr. Kenyon Dixon. The song is called Still. Don't forget to pick up Mr. Raspy Soul and his album called Constructed with the song Easy on it. And don't forget Mr. Papa J with his brand new single, Hard to Find. Yo, it's been your new music moment with the Man in the Mouth. Yo, if you need new music or you need somebody to host something, I host my mitzvahs, baby showers, whatever you need me to hold, I'm there, man. Hit me up at themouth247@gmail.com. That's themouth247@gmail.com. You got any questions or concerns, or you want to be a guest on the show, hit us up right here at the Fat Girl Chronicles Podcast at gmail.com. That's the Fat Girl Chronicles Podcast at gmail.com. Yo, this been your new music moments. I hope I added something to your life, man. I'm happy to be back. And as I always say, baby, I'm out. Yeah.
All is right in the world.
I don't know how I forgot that, but shit, the shit was just rolling, and I was like, yeah, damn, dog, I almost forgot. I almost messed it. Y'all would have been shitty, because I would have said something last week about this week's new music moment, and y'all would have been like, you know what, Leo, we ain't really fucking with you like that, because how you ain't give us last week's new music moment. and I ain't want no smoke. But yeah, there we are. Thank you, Mal, because now y'all can get them playlists back in order so y'all can have some butt naked nastiness going on, and y'all can have me some nieces and nephews by next year.
Yeah, they be Aquarius.
Oh Lord, no. Let's not.
Maybe
Matter of fact, just wait.
Might pop in on y'all Friday. I might pop in.
Amen.
What aunties doing?
Hey. Pisces, do your life right.
Yep, Aquarius and Pisces coming out. Go ahead, go and get that out the way.
We don't need either. So, make sure y'all go on over to leorochelle.com. Check out all things PGC over there, and y'all can check out the merch, all of that good stuff. We will be back on next week with another amazing conversation, and then don't forget to join us this week at 9 with the Crazy Rich Aunties. All right, we love y'all, we appreciate y'all, we thank y'all for tuning in, and like Pop says, peace.
Gucci pliers.
You gotta do it with your whole ass.